Let me ask you something. Are you still deciding about your career choice and are wondering whether software testing is a good fit for you? Let me help you in making that choice easy. So let's bust some myths about software testing. Some people think it's a dead-end job and there is no scope for you to grow further. But it's not true. Software testers have more career options than any other roles in IT industry. I'll be covering the growth roadmap later in this video. Second common misconception is that salary of a software test engineer is always less than that of a developer. However, if you have domain expertise and you can automate software applications, you can earn more than a developer who has same years of experience. Software testing is the best career option if you cannot code. Is software testing really that easy? While it is true that you can get away with not knowing how to code, having sound programming knowledge can help you to understand the application workflow better. Another misconception: software development is more rewarding. While a software developer creates products, it is a software tester who ensures that the product is usable. So, now that we have shattered the myths about software testing, let's understand what a software tester does. A tester's primary task is to ensure product quality at each stage of software development lifecycle, from requirement analysis to delivery. A tester must gain in-depth knowledge of the domain and processes to understand the application workflows. The better a tester understands the application, the more efficient they would be to find defects. As a test engineer, one must keep finding ways to automate manual processes and repetitive tasks. There are several ways to do this, which I'll be covering in later videos. Since the tester builds their knowledge regarding the application and processes, it is of utmost importance to document and build the knowledge base to enable knowledge sharing across the team. The tester is the final checkpoint which ensures that the product delivered adheres to the requirement and is defect-free. Hence, the tester's role is in the best interest of the end user, since no one likes a buggy product. Now that you know how crucial and challenging a tester's role is in the software development, let's understand the skills one would need to be a successful software tester. Since the role requires one to break the application, it requires an investigative outlook. One should be ready to think out of the box and experiment to explore pathways beyond the normal paths which can help detect latent defects. Although one doesn't need to be good at coding, it is essential to have sound programming knowledge and good experience working with databases. It is a software tester's role to be inquisitive. Hence, it is essential to have good communication skills. This helps not only in understanding the requirements but also in working in team environments. Last but not the least, a tester should be open to learn new skills, not only to advance in their career but also to stay relevant in the industry. It is thus interesting to see that you need to have more real-world experience to become a good tester than a classroom education. I will cover details on how to hone your skills to become a successful tester in the next video. For now, let's see how a typical career progression looks like for a software tester. A software tester starts as a QA analyst. Their primary task is to understand the requirements and write down the test cases, execute them, and find defects. A senior QA analyst has more domain knowledge and hence analyzes requirements to design and write test cases. They also manage metrics to track the progress of the test phase. The next natural career step for a senior analyst is to manage a team after becoming a QA lead. As a QA lead, one would manage metrics, act as a mentor to the team, and act as a liaison to the project manager in managing projects. QA lead can then progress to become a project manager and then a senior project manager. Since domain knowledge and knowledge of the application is essential for a business analyst role, a software tester is apt to move into the business analyst domain. As a business analyst, one is responsible for translating clients' needs into application specifications. The business analyst can progress to become a solution architect and then a principal architect. On the other hand, if the QA analyst is part of agile development process, they can move towards becoming a scrum master and then a product owner and QA director. Now, you must be interested to know whether this is the right time to become a software tester. Well, here are few insightful trends in the industry today. There is a huge demand for software testers in the finance and banking industry since it deals with people's money. Additionally, healthcare and research are two fields which need quality assurance the most since people's lives are at stake. General trends also show huge demand for software testers in countries like Canada, Netherlands, UK, UAE, India, New Zealand, and Australia. Hence, it's a great time to explore job opportunities in these locations. Hope this video has been helpful in clearing your doubts regarding making software testing as your career choice. This is definitely a good time to get into software testing. Please let me know if you have any questions for me and I'll try to answer them. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.